Leaders from around the world have gathered to attend the funeral of Queen Elizabeth.
Among them, though, ordinary citizens who have achieved extraordinary things. Pranav Bhanot received an MBE after helping to deliver 1,200 free meals during the COVID-19 pandemic. And he joins us here now. Amazing. First of all, before we get to your extraordinary work, what was it like being there today?
It was so surreal. Just seeing the dignitaries come in, who I've only seen on TV up to now, was quite something. Started off being really exciting, but when I saw the coffin, I think the atmosphere in the whole Abbey did change a fair bit. But, you know, it is testament to the Queen. She had all the presidents and dignitaries in there, but as well as that, very normal people like myself. And that was the Queen. She managed to build a rapport up with the high and powerful and people like myself as well.
I mean, you've got an MBE. Are you a royalist? Are you?
I'm not. Well, I have a huge affection towards the royals, but I'm not someone who necessarily writes tons of articles and blows a trumpet all the time.
So what? But I guess my point would have been, what was it like to be at an event for the Queen, surrounded by royals as well?
Well, do you mean today or when I?
Today.
Oh right, yeah. I mean, it was. You know, I've heard so much about the royals. I've seen so much about the royals in the press, and actually being able to see it for the first time. I've never seen any of the royals other than the Queen 10 years ago. It was extraordinary, albeit in very sad circumstances. And you've got to remember that whilst there is a big public emphasis on the funeral, it is also a very private funeral as well.
Tell us about the work that you did during COVID-19, because I think the Queen was all about giving back. She was all about public service. It was all about recognising that there's something bigger than yourself and that community is important. These are all things you embody as well.
Yeah, I mean, during the pandemic, we found consumers having cancelled flights, people's weddings being cancelled, and I work as a lawyer, and I wanted to offer free advice to try and help people with their lost deposits. It was an awful time. No one could see what was going to happen in the pandemic, and before we knew it, flights were cancelled, weddings were cancelled, so we were helping on the pro bono side. But in addition to that, as you rightly said, we were distributing free meals to people who couldn't get out of the house, who were self-isolating, and also prescriptions for people who couldn't go to the pharmacy.
So how did the call to go to the funeral, how did that work out?
So it was last Saturday. I was putting my 2-year-old to bed, and I had an anonymous number ring me on a Saturday afternoon, which is very bizarre. I don't normally answer them, I must say, but I'm glad I answered this.
You've got a 2-year-old anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so glad I answered this one, and it was the Cabinet Office, which is the office that the government arranged to send out invites, and they extended an invite. Last thing I ever expected, and 5 days later, an invite came in the post.
Wow.
Wow, that is extraordinary. So, I mean, Britain, the world has been through so much with COVID, right? But I feel like Great Britain has been through a little bit more. Now you've got an energy crisis, a cost of living crisis, but there's been none of that for a week or 10 days. It's like you've all just papered over your problems at home and come together in this incredible spirit. I can't talk enough about what London has been like this week. It's a city that I love, but to see it like this, that the queues of people, life has slowed down, people are being kinder to each other. Are you an optimist or are you a pessimist? Is this lasting or is it ephemeral?
No, I don't think it will last. I think we are in a bubble. Up to last week, we were a divided country, whether it's the leadership campaign for the prime ministerial leadership or the energy crisis. We are a divided country at the moment, but what is so promising is that the nation has come together to grieve the monarchy. And, you know, we can do it if we want to do it, but I'm not necessarily suggesting for a moment we're going to remain in this bubble. I think we are going to come out very quickly, and I think the government are getting prepared now to deal with the real issues, for example, the energy crisis and the cost of living crisis.
Okay. Pranav, appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much for joining us here. Congratulations on the work that you do, and well done for scoring an invite today to an event that not many people can say they got to.
Thank you very much.
2,000 as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. We'll talk to you soon.